Okay, Private Miller.
You've been smoking item 9 for 7 minutes and 13 seconds. We're going to ask you several questions.
How do you feel?
Well, sir, I feel like a slice of butter melting on top of a big old pile of flapjacks. Yeah. This one out, sir. You torch me?
We'll send someone in.
Holy bejesus.
Private Miller, answer the question.
What was the question again, sir?
When you think of your superiors, what emotions do you feel?
You know what problem I have with your fucking little dog and pony act you call the military? Here it is. 1, lots of dudes. Where are the boobies? 2, why are we underground right now, sir? Why can't we be out in the open? Why aren't we in a square right now? Why aren't we talking to people?
Private, we need you to be serious.
I'm serious. Fuck you.
I've seen enough. Shut it down, bury the hatch, sell the land, and dispose of him. This never happened.
Hey, where are we going?
This is General
Like
Bragg.
that gun.
We've reached a final conclusion on item 9. Illegal!
What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another Yo Joe Jerk Toy Review. I'm your host, Dwayne Hicks, and today we'll be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Range Viper. Alright, and let's take a look at this box. Right away, we get a nice little render of the Range Viper walking through some kind of jungle. We got more of that dark energon shit. And I'd like to know what the hell this crap is, cause he's knee deep in it, but there's little crystals sticking out. Over here, we got nice artwork of the Range Viper right here. Digging the reds. Up here, we get a nice little picture of all of his included accessories. On this side of the box, we get another render. He's number 76. On this side of the package, we get the nice little QR code and that fucking impossible to read battle stats. On the back of the package, we get a nice little render of the character and all of his included accessories. Over here, we get a picture of his little Cobra symbol. Up here, we get a picture of the brain. The brain! Oh, shit! No battle stats on this box, kinda fucking odd. You got your legal shit here. On the bottom of the box, we get our plastic-free garbage, our legal mush, and a barcode. Alright, let's get this bastard open. Cut, pop, let's release him from his plastic prison. And here we go. Let's take a look at that Range Viper. Oh man, he looks pretty fucking cool. We'll get him out of the package in a second. Now let's take a look at this box. Number 67. Got the Range Viper, the usual suspects on the usual shit. You got your Cobra symbol here. All right, let's pop this sucker open and we got a gigantic bag of fun. I'm gonna give it the spin-a-rooney and I'm gonna tear it. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I can catch everything, and oh my God, I caught it this time, I caught it! Alright, let's take a look at this figure. Great sculpting and detail in the mouth area. In here we get these little black vents. We get the skeleton nose with the black vent. Nice little detail in there. The eyes are sculpted nice, you can see the line work in there. Good red paint. Around the side we can see the gray, which looks like a metal part of the helmet, up into the earpiece. Over here we got the brains, and they're just sculpted so well. This is just such an oddball design, but I love it. Got this nice little reinforcement here on the helmet. More brains up here. On this side, just more of the same sculpting. And all in all, this is just a badass looking head sculpt. Now, down at the feet, it looks like just reuse from a Cobra Trooper. Got nice paint in the knees. Up here on the thigh, we got more pouches and a holster. The whole thing is cast in a gray plastic, and we got a little bit of blue paint there. On the left leg, just more pouches with the blue paint. Same deal, cast in that gray plastic. Up here at the waist, we get a new belt. Doesn't look like there's any paint on it, but you get nice little shotgun slugs, little belt buckle, some more pouches. He's got little built-in clips here. Down here, he's got a loop loop for storage. We'll go over that later. Up on the chest, we got a new overlay, cast in a black plastic with some brown paint on there. Nice sculpted detail in the armor plate behind it. Up on the shoulder, he's got a bunch of grenade rounds. On the top of the shoulder, more detail and paint. And this little part's a part of the little floaty here. We get the standard articulation like Recondo in the original Duke. He does move really good back and forth. Up here on the arms, it just looks like reuse. He's all jacked and veiny. You can see that over there. He does have a nice butterfly joint, so he gets a lot of range. You can see that. On this arm, everything's the same except for the Cobra logo. All in all, he's built really well. I don't see any QC problems. I don't see any bad paint. He is a lot of reuse, but whatever, it looks great. Now let's go over accessories. He comes with a shitload. First up, we're gonna look at the grenade launcher. Now this is very reminiscent of his original weapon from the vintage line, except for that thing is the goofiest rocket launcher you've ever seen, so I'm glad they just changed it to a more modern one. This gun looks really, really weird in person. It is just oily. And I know I was bitching about the gray weapons and give us black weapons, but now this thing is shiny as hell. The little drum inside does move, but my sausage fingers prevent me from really getting it to move. And I gotta say, I've been complaining about the gummy weapons, and this is the gummiest weapon of them all. Like, already has stress marks on it, and I've barely played with it, but it is so gummy, this thing. The muzzle does fit blast effects. Next up, we're gonna look at his little ninja sai here, and there's not much to it. It's just a little ninja sai, but you pretty much get the idea. Next, we'll look at the bullet belt, and it pretty much is just the standard G.I. Joe bullet belt. Has nice paint running through the whole thing. It's molded at an angle, so it should sit on the body really good. We'll check that out in a few. The neckerchief. Now this is just the Viper one, cast in black plastic. It is not the Zartan one. And we'll look at this in a minute. His axe, same deal, cast in a black plastic, no paint. Ooey gooey plastic, but this is straight actually, so I'm not gonna complain about this weapon. The next machine gun, and this thing came bent as hell. If you look down here at the end, you can just see that anytime I try to bend it back, it's just causing a stress mark. I'm not gonna play with this gun too much. I don't know what kind of gun this is, or even if it's real. It looks alright for what it is, and I don't mind the sci-fi weapons, because you know, Destro and Mars and all that stuff. Which leads us to the ammo magazine over here. The standard ammo magazine, it's just got a little bit of gold paint on there, and you'll see there's a little clip in which way the bullets face forward, so you just grab your gun like this. You just line it up with the hole in the bottom, and then you run the bullets through. And there you go, you got your ammo mag on there. You can see the bullets sticking out the other side. The port at the end of the gun does support the blast effects. And last up, we got the backpack, and this thing is just awesome. Old school whatever air tank, water tank, or whatever kind of tank you call it is on there. We got the little tube up here which connects to the back of the head. We'll look at that in a minute. On the back here we have these giant friggin' bullets. On the bottom here it just looks like more little communication devices and whatnot. On the side we got a pouch here and a little nub here. I'll show you what that's for later. On this side he's got a walkie-talkie strapped to his backpack. It looks really good. It does not come off. The antenna is ooey gooey plastic, but I'd still be careful. And down here we got a pouch. And on the back it's pretty plain, which is whatever, I don't care. But down here I'm gonna show you what this is for too in a minute. So let me grab this guy and we're gonna load him up with accessories as we go so you can see what everything's about. Here he is with his heavy machine gun, fits into his hands great. I like that it's a newer weapon. Here's the rocket launcher in his hands. It fits in there really good, but like I said, it's super ooey gooey, so I'm not a huge fan of this. But it looks really good on the figure. And speaking of which, if you grab your backpack, this thing just fits right in the slot in the back. So if you turn it around, it fits in there. So it ain't going anywhere, it's in there really good. We have the tomahawk. It's a fun accessory, and I like the close quarter weapon that they gave him. I like how the end of it kind of looks like a multi-tool too. That's a lot of fun. And speaking of the backpack again, the little hole here in the axe, you can plug it to the backpack and you have more storage. This thing's a storage machine. And here he is with the ninja sai. Fits in the hand great, looks good. And do you remember when I showed you that loop on the belt? You just take the knife and it goes right in there. So that is stored on the figure as well. And next up, here he is with the neckerchief. And this just ties it all together. I really like that. Looks good. It was really easy to go on. And here he is with the bullet belt on. That slid on no problem. And it's just molded around his body perfectly. So it is just a perfect snug fit. You can actually pull it down even further when we poured in the backpack. And there is one item I did miss. He does come with this itty bitty pistol with the extended clip. I think we've seen this come with a few figures. It does have a port for blast effects. Does fit into his hand really good, and ports into the holster no problem. And it's the same problem with Big Ben. Like, this thing just sticks out a mile. I mean, it's G.I. Joe. I don't think we really need extended clips. It is fun, but it doesn't really make sense on this figure, but whatever. And now we'll throw the backpack on. It just lines up and ports in there really well with enough room. And now we just take this little hose, and you see that hole in the back of the Range Viper's head? You just lightly throw it in there, and there you go. He's fully equipped. He can carry everything that he comes with, which is awesome. I love when they do that. This is a great figure and very well planned out. I know it's a shitload of reuse, but it's done in a very good way. And for size comparison, we have him with the Alpha Commando Snake Eyes. And here's the PulseCon Zartan. And here he is with your standard Viper and your standard Cobra Trooper. And here he is with Snow Job and Flint. And last up, we have him with Shipwreck and Firefly. So at the end of the day, and my final thoughts on this guy are, I really dig him. He's a great troop builder with an awesome head sculpt. Really like the paint scheme. He did come with a shitload of accessories. My only main gripe with him is just the gummy weapons. And that's all I got this time, people. I'd like to thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next review. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.